Hello, my name is Trent Thierry, and welcome to another South Park episode review. Today I'm going to talk about Season 1, Episode 6, Death. So this episode is about Stan's grandfather, and he really wants to die, because he's about 100 years old, and when you get to that age, life can be a bit difficult and hard. Like, he's going through a lot of physical and emotional pain. He's in a wheelchair, so he can't move. He's pretty much just stuck at home. And his family doesn't really want to spend any time with him, so he decides to ask Stan to kill him. And Stan doesn't really know what to do, so he tries to go and get advice from the chef and Mr. Garrison and Jesus, and they all give him the same answer, that they wouldn't touch that with a 40-foot pole. And the Grim Reaper does show up at the end of the episode, but he doesn't come for Stan's grandpa, he comes for Kenny. And there's this one scene that I really like, when the boys are running away from Death, and Death's riding around on this little bike. It's just fucking funny. This episode does actually tackle a serious topic, euthanasia. Like, is it okay to assist someone to kill themselves? Personally, if I was 100 years old and I was in a lot of pain, I would want my family members to kill me. Now I'm going to talk about the part of the episode that everybody wants me to. This episode introduced a couple of new characters to South Park. I am of course talking about Terrence and Phillip. Yes, this was the first episode they appeared in. All the kids in South Park tune into the Terrence and Phillip show, and the parents find out about it, and they don't like it, so they decide to protest. And this is also the first episode with Kyle's mum, and she really spearheads the campaign to take Terrence and Phillip off the air. The Terrence and Phillip show was about these two guys who fart on each other and laugh. It's supposed to be a reference of South Park itself, because when South Park first started, a lot of parents protested it, and they accused South Park of being nothing but fart jokes and toilet humor, which wasn't really the whole point of South Park to begin with. People who protested South Park, most of them haven't even seen the show. South Park is a show for adults. It's intended for adults. It airs at 10 o'clock at night, so if your children are up at 10 o'clock at night watching TV, that's your fault, not the TV's fault. What do you expect them to play at 10 o'clock at night? Children's shows? So back to the episode. The parents of South Park go to New York City to convince the network to take Terrence and Phillip off the air. So they pretty much leave all their kids at home by themselves. They care about what their kids watch on TV, but they don't give two shits about actually spending any time with them. The plot of South Park Bigger, Longer and Uncut is reminiscent of this episode, but instead in the movie, the parents were protesting the Terrence and Phillip movie. And I would just like to say that Kyle's mum is a big fat bitch. And there's this one joke in here that Cartman makes about Kyle's mum's menstrual cycle, where Cartman states that it seems like every month around the same time, Kyle's mum turns into a fucking bitch. And then the boys sneakily watch Terrence and Phillip without their parents knowing. And that reminds me of when I used to sneakily watch South Park without my parents knowing. But look, as I said before, don't get pissed off about the TV show itself. If you don't want your kids watching South Park or other shows that are made for adults, then don't let them stay up at 10 o'clock at night. They should be in bed at that time. Like, you can't expect every show on TV to be child friendly. Of course there's supposed to be shows and movies that are made for adults. Would you want to be in a world where everything on TV is the fucking Wiggles? 10 o'clock at night when you and your wife are watching TV, it's the fucking Wiggles on TV? Would you want that? No. No, you wouldn't. So let adult shows be on TV, made for adults, at 10 o'clock at night. Just because you don't like something, that doesn't mean you have to watch it. If other people like it, that's their business, not yours. Like me personally, South Park is probably one of my favourite shows of all time. If not, it is my favourite show. There's probably no other show that I like more than South Park. And I really enjoy making these reviews because I get to look back at the old episodes. I'm doing all these reviews to celebrate South Park's 20th season. And when that comes out, I'm going to start doing reviews of the new episodes. I'm sorry that this episode has gone on a bit too long. I don't usually make them this long. It's just I've had a lot to talk about in this one. So yeah. So this episode is probably the most important episode of the first season, and it really paved the way for other episodes to tackle serious issues. I rate it 5 out of 5. You can subscribe to this channel and like my page on Facebook. My name is Trent Thierry. See you next time.